Did Miss Sunny Hostin say that Vice President Kamala didn't know what she was doing? Let's check this out. Welcome to Uchi and Friends. So today we have Miss Sunny Hostin. She might have left some cryptic message in this video. Let's check it out.
Start with the question everyone in America is asking, and I say this with a touch of hyperbole.
Okay.
But it's been, everyone is on the Democratic side is navel gazing. What went wrong? What trying to take
As
this
you know,
apart.
I don't think they should.
I know. You've been clear. But one of the things that keeps coming up is, did Sunny Hostin personally cost Kamala Harris the election with her question?
Oh, wow. I wish I had that much power because I would have flipped it in the other way.
I say she did, but let's check it out what Sunny says.
Hey.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you see this like James Carville and all these pundits are saying it.
Look, I think it goes to show the how important this show is.
Yeah.
In this country and actually internationally.
I have to laugh because normally whenever we have a big politician on and they do well, I get all these trolls on Twitter and other places saying they gave him the questions beforehand. The questions are impromptu. I'm like, well, now we have proof.
They are not.
We do not do that.
I will say this: it's interesting to me, as I do think it's just clickbait, and I think any headline that has The View mentioned or my name mentioned seems to go viral.
All right, well, let's remind people what the question was. It was, what would you have done differently?
I asked the vice president what she would do differently in a Biden and in Harris administration as opposed to a Biden administration.
And what if anything, she wishes she could have done differently in the past 4 years, or what?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I followed up because I was surprised at the answer. Look, I think it wasn't so much about the question.
I know you was surprised at the answer, Miss Sunny, along with the rest of America listening.
But it was really more about the answer.
Not a thing comes to mind.
Not a thing comes to mind, and that's why I followed.
Which was a horrible answer. Horrible.
Followed up with, is there anything that you would do differently? And the reason I followed up is because, that wasn't a gotcha question. That was a layup, really.
And tried to help her out, and it still didn't work. And that's who y'all wanted to be our president. Can't even answer simple questions. You know the thing about when you're a president, you have to be able to answer some of the most toughest questions because you're going to be dealing with the most toughest people in this world. So, how can she run the country and have a problem answering a question from a simple journalist? Let's ponder that part.
It was an important question, and I think one she should have expected.
Because that's what I thought.
You're damn right she should have expected it. But of course not. That's who y'all want as president, though, right?
But I actually thought it was a chance for her to explain to all the people who are saying, I want a change agent, for her to explain that, of course, she has a different lived experience from President Biden. But they did have one of the most successful administrations in our country.
That's the tricky part.
And I thought she would then say,
did they really have one of the best presidential terms ever? Did they really?
I would build on the wins that we've had. And I had a laundry list of wins in my head.
Right.
And she didn't answer it that way. She said, not a thing comes to mind. And listen, I think it goes to show you how loyal she was to.
And now she's lying. She's trying to cover up the stupidness of their whole answer. She's not being lost. She just didn't think that they did anything wrong. Her and Joe had no issues, according to her.
To the president who gave her the opportunity.
And what a spit in the face to Americans to say there's nothing wrong with what we're doing, but you have Americans that are actually broke, struggling, trying to pay rent, trying to buy groceries, buy eggs, milk, and they can't even afford it. And you sit up high and say there is nothing wrong with what we're doing currently.
To run for president, who chose her as his vice president, And
who basically named her as his successor when he endorsed her.
Yes, it says a lot about her character, her values. I love a ride or die person.
Mm-hmm.
Ride or die all the way to the wheels fall off and literally fall off. Yeah, blind loyalty.
So I'm not going to opine as to whether or not it was the right answer or the.
And also, what does this say about the character of a person that will go along with something you know is not right, but just because you want to be loyal to a person? That doesn't make you a hero. That doesn't make you good. It actually makes you pretty stupid.
The wrong answer. I will just say I was surprised at the answer because it was a question that really could have inured to her benefit. It was a question that could have been a change maker in a sense.
Yeah, and
yes, indeed, it could have changed, but she messed up, like she did the whole campaign. Well, what can we say? But that's who they wanted as president. You'll enjoy the rest of your day, and to the next time.